Hello YouTube. I'm just trying to survive the polar vortex of January 2014. I think it's negative 18 degrees out. I think with the wind chill it feels like negative 40 something. And we're in for close to 20 inches of snow. So there's not a whole lot I can do working wise outside till this all passes. So I thought I'd do an EDC video. Now, if you watch a certain YouTube gear reviewer, I'm not going to drop his name, some of the stuff may come across as pretty cliche, but I do not use any fanny packs. So now I think you know who I'm talking about for sure. So what I do use, I use this 511 tactical belt. Not so much for the tacticalness of it, although that's an added bonus. What I really like is that it is reversible. It's black on one side and like this coyote tan on the other, and it's held up really well. I'm a builder by trade. I'll wear this to work during the day and it'll get, you know, sawdust and concrete and drywall mud and whatever else you can think of, you know, as this thing's exposed to, and it's held up really well. I've had it for over a year. The other thing I like about it is when I travel, which I like to do, it's all plastic. So as long as the TSA doesn't see you with it on, you know, you can go through metal detectors and everything else, which is really kind of an added bonus for me. Here's my wallet. It's a pretty thick tri-fold wallet, but I carry a lot of stuff in here. So it's made by Civilian, but I think they've since changed their name to like Hazard 4 or something like that. It's a Kevlar reinforced wallet with this nylon stitching around it. It came with a little lanyard, which I don't use, but it had a cheap little carabiner that it came with, and that attaches to that loop there. On the inside, it's got these mesh pockets on either side. I think there are 3 or 4 on this side, 3 or 4 on this side. One big ID holder in the middle, and another kind of change pocket here, and a big pocket for your cash and receipts. Again, other than this name tag wearing a little bit, which I could care less about, the wallet itself is held up extremely well, especially with the beating that I give it in my line of work. You can see how dirty it is. So there's the wallet. Phone, iPhone 4S. It's got an OtterBox Defender case on it. You can see how beat up this thing has gotten. Held up extremely well though, I might add. You know, it's got a little tear there on the corner. You can see how beat up this screen is on this thing. I mean, I've dropped this off of roofs, down a flight of stairs. It's been dropped in puddles, you name it, and I'm still on my 4S. Screen hasn't broken or anything, so I don't care really about the thickness or anything. As long as I don't have to be without a phone, that's fine with me. Keys, another thing that I carry every day, obviously. It's a lot of keys, I guess. I've got, you know, 2 vehicles. I got a work vehicle and my personal vehicle, and I got a couple little gadgets on it. This is just a Swiss Tech Lite, which comes in handy at night if you gotta get inside, get your keys in the door. And I also have a little Gerber curve, which has come in handy on occasion. You can see a little sawdust there. It's got a knife and I think 3 or 4 various screwdrivers. So yeah, sorry, I'm working through the camera lens here. That comes in handy every now and then. One thing I will tell you is do not use this clip. It is worthless. Do not clip it to your keys using this clip because it will fall off. Go through this post here, and then it's secure. I thought I lost this several times. It ended up being in my pocket or on the floor of my truck or something. So I learned my lesson to secure it to that post and not to this worthless clip. I don't have any crazy S-beaners or anything on there because I found that those really don't work for me, so I just stick with the typical loops. Now, more of the kit stuff that I do carry every day. I just didn't want to give it away. Number one thing for certain is my Leatherman S2 juice. Again, you can see how kind of beat up this thing's gotten. I'm not going to do a review on or anything. There are tons of reviews on YouTube about it. By far and away my favorite pocket medium duty multi-tool. I've got a couple, but actually again I thought I had lost this. So I was in the market for another medium duty multi-tool, and I looked high and low on YouTube looking for reviews, and I did end up getting another one, and here it is. I went out and I got the same exact thing because that's how much I love this S2. I like it a lot more than even other Leatherman multi-tools. So it fits in my pocket real well. It's fairly light and you know, pretty heavy duty for its size. I've always been surprised by that. The other thing I always carry, always carry, is a flashlight, and in this case it's a Streamlight Stylus Pro. I've had other similar lights. I had an O light. I can't remember what model that was. I had a 4.7's Preon 2, and that, you know, was a cool light. I ended up losing that, but the thing I like about the Streamlight Stylus Pro is, number one, the cost. These can be had for about, you know, $19 to $23 all day long, and it's extremely robust. It uses just 2 AA batteries, which I will talk more about here shortly, but I like that the tail cap, that you don't have to twist it. The battery life well exceeds anything that the manufacturer says, in my opinion. And there are no modes. I found with the other pen lights I've had with the numerous modes that I just never used them, and it got annoying. You know, if I needed to look at something real quick, I'd be getting like an SOS signal or some random thing that I didn't want, and I'd have to go through all the modes and get back to, I just want some light, you know. So and that's why I like the Streamlight Stylus Pro. I probably have 10 of these suckers laying around in various places. Here's another light that I'd purchased not too long ago. The Phoenix PD20. Great light, except for the fact that it takes one of those stupid A123 batteries. And I found the battery life is absolutely horrible. And again, it's got all these various modes that I really don't need. And this expensive battery that wears out really quick. So I really haven't used it a whole lot. Now on to knives. I do always carry a knife. And I've got several here on the table, but I'm going to show you the one that I always find myself going to. And again, this might come across as kind of cliche, but it's true. And so here it is. It's the SOG Aegis. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you can see that that wasn't planned. You can see that I do indeed use this thing. That's all kinds of sawdust and stuff on there. Man, I love this knife. I love the sharp tip on it, the blade profile. I love how quickly it deploys. In this digicam, it's pretty cool looking. The rubber grips on it, the jimping, I mean, the price point for what you're getting, the super deep pocket carry. The list just goes on and on. I mean, you saw how dirty that blade is, and look how fast it still deploys. I mean, I'm sure that mechanism in there is just as full of pocket lint and sawdust and construction dust as, and look how fast it deploys. It's never failed me. So I do typically always have that on me. But here's some other knives that I do use. In more of a casual setting, I really like this buck. It's a flipper. Well, that was horrible. There you go. It's a buck, I believe, Vantage. And this has the Paperstone scales on it, which don't really apply a whole lot of grip, but in this instance it's okay, because this really isn't a tactical knife. This is definitely more of a gentleman's EDC knife, and I really like how it's super highly polished along the spline of the knife, and then it's got kind of these this grind on it that looks really cool. And the Paperstone, if you're not familiar with Paperstone, I found out it again through the building trades. They make countertops out of this stuff, and it's basically layers of recycled paper that's all pressed and epoxied together. And if you ever look into the price of Paperstone countertops, they're ungodly expensive. Again, I really like the pocket clip, the super deep carry pocket clip on this, and the blade length I think is pretty much similar to that of the Aegis. I think it's, I don't know, right around, what was that, 3.5 inches? I can't remember. They're both about the same size, and you'll find that probably with all my blades, that they're all right around that length. That's still legal to carry. And so here's another blade that I really like too. I just picked up recently. This is a Kershaw Skyline, and that was a bad deployment, and that's because this knife really doesn't deploy very quickly. I really should probably screw around with that, but that's as fast as I can get that thing to deploy. So again, probably not really good in a tactical type situation, although I'm sure it would suffice. But what I do really like is how super thin and light this is for a knife this size. Again, it's about the same size as the Vantage and about the same size as the Aegis. But man, it's just really lightweight and super thin, and you don't even realize you have it on you. So I do carry that sometimes. Not nearly as much as this, and not as much as this, but I have found myself carrying it from time to time. So I'm just going to move these knives off to the side here just to make some room. Next, I am a concealed carry permit holder, and granted, I do not carry every day. It's just not really useful in my line of work. I can't have a gun on me all the time, but I do carry pretty often, fairly often I'd say. And here's what I carry. This is my Glock 27 Gen-3, no magazine, safe. Glock 27 Gen-3, 40 cal Glock, subcompact. I really like this gun. I never used to be a big fan of Glocks, and what happened is my friends ended up getting them, and you know, I'd shoot them from time to time, and they really just kind of grew on me. I can't really explain why. I love the liability. I love the simplicity. A good price point. You know, this gun for concealed carry, being a double stack magazine, you know, you get 9+1 in the chamber. I never carry an extra mag, just because I'm not looking to get in a gunfight. You know, this is going to be for purely defensive purposes. I'm going to be looking to either save my life or save somebody else's life and get the heck out of there. I'm not looking to instigate anything, so I figure if I can't get what I need to get done in 10 shots, then I'm in poor shape. I carry this gun. If you see my other YouTube video, in a DeSantis 106 that I did some really simple mods to. Again, really inexpensive holster. When I got it, it didn't come like this though. I mean, this was just a loop of leather, no contours in it, and you know, the gun really didn't fit all that well in it. So if you look at my other video, I show you how to get all these nice contours and even retention. It actually even retains the gun a little bit with the method I used, which I think is pretty unique and original. Love the clip. I wish it was metal, but what you can do with this particular holster, and there are plenty of YouTube videos on this too, but if you tuck it down in your pants, what happens is this clip goes up underneath your belt like that, and so, you know, this is in your pants, so you can't see any of that, and then you're able to tuck a shirt down in between that clip and the holster, right down in there, so the gun is completely concealed. Other than you'll be able to see is this little DeSantis J kind of hook on there, and that's, you know, so when you pull the weapon, when you draw the weapon, it doesn't pull the holster out with it, and that's all you can see. So for 20-25 bucks, a product that's made in the USA. It just has a couple shortcomings, which in my other video I show you how to overcome those, and I really do like this holster quite a bit. In my Glock, just in case you want to know, I carry these hollow points. They're Federal Premium HST Personal Defense and 40 Smith, 180 grain. Nice and heavy, really big hollow point bullet on there. Again, there's ballistics testing on YouTube and other places about this round, so I really like that. My old carry gun, which I am going to sell, this Kel-Tec PF9. I think I'll do another video on this. This gun now is a very reliable, nice gun, much nicer than what came from the factory, but I had to do a lot of gunsmithing on my own to make it as such. So I'll probably end up doing another video review on this Kel-Tec PF9, my experiences with it. There are plenty of reviews on it, but this was a nice gun for summer carry. I'll probably end up getting like a little car CM or PM series 40, because I really like to pocket carry during the summer, hence the pocket carry, again, a DeSantis holster, which I really liked. But I'm selling this gun. I've had enough of it, and quite frankly, I'm moving on to 40 cal just because it seems to be available by me much more so than 9mm. So anyways, that's my EDC, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please comment, rate, and subscribe.